A man who kills and walks home freely has not yet killed one with many brothers. But when he does, he will not walk, he will flee, and he shall run when nothing is pursuing him. Oh, Agafu, how I cried for you.
They said his shadow brought death, that his anger could silence the drums of Anam. No man dared look into his eyes until one old man did. And on that night, when the earth trembled and the gods awoke, the hunter learned that even the fiercest cannot outrun the spirits. Agafu, far away in the heart of Africa, stood the ancient village of Anam, a land once peaceful and prosperous until the shadow of one man consumed it. His name was Agafu. Agafu was evil in its purest form, doing only what pleased him, caring neither for the poor nor the rich. They said he was born cursed. His parents had parted ways when he was only a child, leaving him abandoned at the mercy of a cruel uncle. His mother remarried and never looked back. The boy grew up unloved, mocked, unwanted, and blamed for every misfortune. He was called the child who brought ill luck, the one who tore his parents apart before his first words were spoken. Eventually, young Agafu fled the village, running from pain and rejection. But what awaited him outside was not peace, it was darkness. Years later, when he returned, he was no longer the broken boy who once left Anam. He had become something else, something feared by both men and spirits. Agafu had made a covenant with evil. He returned not to forgive, but to avenge, and from that day, Anam knew no peace again. His rage swept through the land like wildfire. He spared no one, rich or poor, young or old. Tears became the people's daily bread, graves, the new harvest of the season. He was a reaper of souls. Children grew up orphans, mothers wailed into the night, and the name Agafu was whispered only in fear. Every compound bore a reminder of his visit, a gravestone, and those he spared prayed each night for death to find them. Agafu's power was unnatural. The covenant he made gave him what he desired most, revenge and dominance. But in gaining it, he lost the last fragment of his soul. One day, as was his custom, Agafu walked through the village, his guards behind him. He sought new victims, new hearts to torment, new families to shatter. Then he stopped, halted, raising his hand, and his men stopped instantly. Before them lay a quiet, well-kept compound. An old man sat at a small wooden table, eating with his young son. The air was heavy, as though the gods themselves were watching. "Father, we are doomed," the boy whispered, fear trembling in his voice. He slowly placed the morsel of food back into the bowl. "Do not fear, my child," the old man murmured, his tone calm but sorrowful. "If it must be, then so be it. You are dear to me. That is my comfort." Agafu stepped forward, his grin cold and cruel. "To what do we owe this visit, Agafu?" the old man asked boldly, his voice steady and commanding. "I was drawn here by a force," he replied, grinning wickedly. "And who are you, old man?" "Egede," came the calm reply, "the slave of the gods." Agafu's smile vanished. His eyes darkened. "I knew it," he snarled as his fury rose. "Then leave," said Mazi Egede softly. "The gods are already angry with you." "Who are you to order me around, old man?" Agafu roared, striding toward the boy. The land you stand upon is consecrated, Agafu. It has never been defiled. Leave now, and perhaps the gods will lessen your punishment. You talk too much, old man, Agafu thundered, and before another word could be spoken, he thrust his blade forward. The boy gasped and fell. Agafu turned and stormed out, his men following in uneasy silence. But just as he reached the edge of the compound, a calm voice echoed behind him. Agafu. He froze. Slowly, he turned. Mazi Egede stood tall, his eyes fierce with a strange fire. His voice carried like wind over a sacred grave. A man who kills and walks home freely has not yet killed one with many brothers. But when he does, he will not walk, he will flee, and he shall run when nothing is pursuing him.
Agafu froze, staring at him. For the first time, a chill crept into his heart. "Oh, Agafu, how?" the old man cried out, his voice breaking with fury and sorrow. "I cry for you." Mazi Egede turned gallantly and walked toward his dead son. That same day, the villagers gathered. The boy's body was laid to rest amid wailing and dust. When the mourners drifted away, Egede sat alone. Brave though he was, his heart had stopped beating for life itself. Evening came, he forced himself to eat. "I must move on," he thought, staring at the ball before him. Yet every breath brought the memory back. Hours ago, he had sat in this same place with his son, laughing. "We die once, my son. Rest well, warrior," he whispered. He reached for the food again, but paused. A shadow moved outside the doorway. Slowly, he looked up. A man stood there. "Welcome, stranger," Egede said. "Thank you, old man," the stranger replied, studying the elder's face. "I was on my way to the neighboring town, but my journey was delayed." "At this hour?" Egede asked, suspicion in his tone. "Yes, sir." The story didn't add up. "You and I know Anam is the only town standing in this region," the old man said calmly, then sighed. "But does it matter? You're here now. It's late and you must be tired. Sit, eat with me." "Thank you, old man." "Egede," he corrected. "Mazi Egede." "Mazi Egede, I'm grateful. You may call me Ebini." "Ebini," the old man repeated slowly. "A warrior's name." "Yes, sir." Ebini smiled faintly and took a piece of yam. They ate in silence. Then Egede froze mid-bite and stared at his guest. "Isn't it a bit strange?" he murmured, more to himself. "How do you mean, sir?" "It seems one left and another entered. I don't understand." "We buried my son not long before you walked in," Egede said quietly. "It is sad, Mazi," Ebini replied, trying to sound sorrowful. Egede's eyes narrowed. "You speak as though you know." "What? No, You speak as though you know, Ebini." "The villagers," Ebini stammered. "I overheard them talking." Egede forced a thin smile. "Ah, that sounds reasonable. I was alone before you came. Now that you're here, I'm comforted. Perhaps the gods have heard my pain." "Indeed, warrior, indeed," Ebini said softly. After a pause, "How did it happen, Mazi?" Egede replied, "Anam is in trouble, stranger. Tomorrow at first cock crow, you must leave. Promise me." "Was your son killed? Do you have a killer among you?" "A reaper of souls, an evil seed," the old man cried suddenly. "The people of Anam are in danger. May the gods intervene soon." "I see, warrior. I will do as you say." "Very well, my son," Egede said, a trace of peace softening his face. They finished eating and lay down to rest. Egede, drained by sorrow, fell asleep the moment his head touched the mat. Ebini watched him for a while. "That will be good for him," he murmured. Then with a grin, whispered, "Now it is time to visit an old friend." He slipped outside into the dark night while Anam slept. But sleep would not come to Agafu. Since he murdered Egede's son, peace had left him. The old man's words echoed in his skull, driving him near madness. A man who kills and walks home freely, he muttered again and again until a knock startled him. He opened the door and froze. Ebini stood there. "My lord," Agafu stammered. "What have you done, Agafu?" Ebini's voice was sharp with fury. "My lord, I do not understand. This time you crossed the boundary. You went too far. What have I done? Am I dreaming? It feels like I'm dreaming." Ebini stepped forward, his eyes cold. "Oh, how I wish it were a dream."
It seems like so, but how I wish it was, Agafu. I did everything you asked from me. Before now, you are the most powerful and feared man living. Now you are worth nothing. In your pursuit of revenge, you've lost everything. The blood you spilled is crying heavily against you. You crossed boundaries. Agafu murdered the child of Ikeneme. And Ikeneme, the god of revenge, is angry. The god of the land of Anam is angry, Agafu. He has remained silent, but now the gods have risen against you. What have I done? Agafu cried out in fear. You made mockery of me too, Agafu, reducing me to the level of humans. Ikeneme sent me to the house of the man whose son you murdered. All because of your foolishness, I was made a human, a common mortal. I am to do the bids of Egede the warrior until he is comforted. A man that kills and walks home freely. Please, please, my lord, forgive me. Agafu pleaded in frustration, interrupting, tears streaming down his face. Nothing is in my hand anymore. I'm only a messenger. The war you started will consume you. Ebini snarled. Leave the land, Agafu. Flee. The land that once shielded you is against you. Run and never return. Anna must have her peace back. Where do I go? Actually, you have no place to go. For even if you leave the land of Anam, the curse will follow you. Ikeneme does not forgive easily. It consumes its victims slowly. And even if it does, Agafu, how do you escape me? I will continue from where Ikeneme stopped. I will not forgive, Agafu. Now get up, burn down your home, confess, and plead for the forgiveness of the people you have tortured. Then leave this land and never return. Ikeneme has spoken. Agafu only realized it was a terrible nightmare when he suddenly woke screaming like a man gone mad. Ebini was a spirit sent by the gods, and it was after Agafu murdered the old man's son that the gods rose and sent him. The god Agafu once served. Ebini's voice continued to thunder in Agafu's ears and mind, torturing him until frenzy took hold. Driven by terror, Agafu hurriedly destroyed everything he owned and set his house alight. At dawn, the people of Anam woke to a new day and a shocking sight. Agafu, their terror, turned to ruin at the center of a burning compound. Villagers watched in stunned silence as he raged and raved. The old man stood across the way, watched for a while, then sadly nodded and turned away. And so it was that the once feared man fled the path. No one pursued him. The elders would later say, a man who kills and walks home freely has never killed the one with many brothers. For when he does, he will not walk, he will flee for his life. Evil begets evil. Always try to do good. Do not hurt or intimidate others. You never know how it will end. The pursuit of peace is for the wise. The end. If this story moved you, please subscribe. Your support helps this channel a lot. Leave a comment. What stood out for you in this tale? Share it with your loved ones and stay tuned for more captivating stories. Bye for now.